Welcome back, everyone, to Fourth and Forever. This is your host, Hounds of How, joined by our co-host, Raider Rant. This week's show, we'll be talking about everyone's favorite topic, predictions. I don't know if it's everyone's favorite topic, but Raider, how's it going today, and is it your favorite topic?
Well, everything's my favorite topic when I'm talking about it because I like to hear myself talk. So it's going pretty good.
Well, since last week, we've gotten AFC full ratings, full player ratings, and we're 2 weeks away from EA Access and just a little bit over 17, 18 days from the full release of Madden. I know you're ready. Football's back this Sunday. What are your thoughts going forward for the waiting of the Madden 17 preseason?
Man, I'm a lot more excited now than I was. And part of it's because, man, I just love football. And another part of it's sheer morbid curiosity. A lot of these ratings that have come out, I can't do anything really but just shake my head at them. So I'm hoping maybe that once it gets in game and everything's fully functional and we see the direction the game went, maybe the ratings will make a lot more sense. So even though I'm down on the ratings, I'm up on hype for the game because I want to see how all this works together. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty much my thought. I was excited. They gave us ratings actually a day earlier than everyone expected. It was kind of like a little Christmas in August package, I guess. I was excited to see it. But looking at Dallas's ratings, and that's my favorite team, your favorite team, I felt they were pretty good. There was hits and miss everywhere. Looking at other teams, I felt the same way. I think they've taken a step forward in some spots, but taken steps back in a few. But overall, I'm excited for 17, and I think the ratings are going to play out pretty well in everyone's liking this cycle. So,
yeah, man, I tend to agree.
So with that being out of the way, we'll get into our first part of the prediction show. We're going to do the AFC this week, which is a lot of the top tier NFC teams are calling it the AFC least, or the worst AFC. Everyone in the NFC is touting that their NFC teams are great, but we'll have to wait and see next week. But tonight we're going to talk about the AFC, starting with the AFC East, and we're going to take on that division. We have Keller, Saran Wrap, Bumblebee, and AJ running the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. I feel this division's going to be somewhat competitive. You have Keller, who, honestly, he keeps saying he's going to leave. We don't know. We want him to stay. Keller's a great user. I think he has a very good shot in this division with his Bills being 81 overall. The Dolphins sitting at a 77 overall. I feel bad for Saran Wrap. That's a train wreck. The Patriots, 87. I mean, that's unbelievable. I don't think that's true at all, but that's the Patriots. Gronk's on the cover. So, and then you have the Jets at 77 overall. My final thoughts on this division, I think, are going to be Keller's going to run at 8-8. You're going to have the Dolphins finish at a 4-12. I think the Jets are going to finish a 6-10. And I think the division winner is going to be Bumblebee just because the true talent he has on his team. I think he's poised with the great offense he has with Tom Brady and Jimmy G over there, depending on if we play suspensions out or not. I think he's going to be able to win the division at 9-7. Raider, what are your thoughts on that division?
All right, well, I don't have as happy of an outlook as you have on AFC East being even remotely competitive. I don't have the schedules in front of me, so I'm not fancy enough to have my guess for their ending, 8-8, what their percentages are going to be. But as far as I'm concerned, man, just looking at it, I don't know anything about AJ other than the Jets suck and he sucks. So I really got Keller running the division. I mean, the Patriots, sure, they have a 6 overall difference. Not a Bumblebee, he's a good user. He's pretty good at using his middle linebacker. I've played him once, but he's relatively new. Keller's won a Super Bowl, the only one in that division that has a Super Bowl. I really think the veteran presence of Keller being there stabilizes and takes that division for at least, I don't know, man, at least several seasons, at least till season 5, I see the Bills run the AFC East. I'd say from there, I mean, Bumblebee's pretty talented. He has an insanely talented, overrated roster in the Patriots. He has Gronkowski. Doesn't matter what quarterback he's got, he can move the chains. So I don't see the Patriots falling any further than second in that division. I really think that that Saran Wrap will do good things there with the Dolphins. It may take him a little bit of time, but, I mean, I'm saying he finishes – I think there's probably going to be a tie, or third and fourth place is going to be insanely close without being able to look at schedules. But I really think Saran Wrap can do good things with the Dolphins. And then, of course, AJ sucks, so he's fourth in my book. So, sorry. So that's what I got the AFC East. I got, at least season one, I got the Bills taking the AFC East. So I'm going to switch gears here. We're going to move on to the AFC North. Now, the AFC North is, I mean, with the exception of the Browns down there at the bottom weighing it down, that's a log jam. I mean, you got the Pittsburgh's into the top 85 overall with their 93 overall defense or offense and 81 defense, being controlled by somebody Shake and Take, who a lot of people say depending on who you talk to, he's either a really good player or he's really cheesy. So we'll see how all that plays out. Then you got the next up, you got the Bengals at 84 overall, 87 offense, 87 defense. I think that's the most balanced bunch in there in the Bengals. And you got Matt Rack running them. And I mean, for people who don't know, he's great. When I played him, I didn't score a single touchdown. I won like 8-3 or 8-5, something crazy, 8-6. I won on a safety. That's all I can tell you. And he's the real deal. He's good. Then you got the Ravens at 83 overall, and I don't know much about Guitar Daddy, but he seems like he may be newer. But he's got a good team, 83 overall Ravens, 85 offense, 83 defense. So there's definitely some talent there. And then the Browns, of course, the factory of sadness down there, 73 overall, 75 offense, 77 defense. I don't expect much noise out of Aku season one, short of trading off parts. I don't think that the Pittsburgh guy is going to live up to the hype. I won't comment on it further than that, but I just don't see him living up to the hype. I'm saying Matt Rack takes that division with Pittsburgh coming in second, Ravens coming in third, and the Browns, hope probably going 0-16 and having the first overall selection in our first draft. How about you, Ibo? What do you got there?
Yeah, I'm pretty right there with you on a few thoughts of it. I do see Aku dragging ass in that division. I mean, he's just got a lot of work to build up. He knows it. He'll say it. And I have him finishing around 3-13. Next up, I'm actually putting Matt Rack with the Bengals at 6-10. I think he's going to come in third in that division. I don't know. I don't know who Guitar Daddy is, but I just feel like that Ravens team's got what it takes to get past the Bengals and finish at a 7-9 with the Ravens. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with the Steelers winning the division, but I'm only putting him at 10-6. I think the Steelers have a tougher schedule, and I just don't see him being able to take out that many opponents and run the board or come anywhere close. My whole AFC is actually pretty low rated as far as wins, as we'll get to further in the segment, but I do see Shake and Take winning that division if he can survive the first 16 games of the league. So we'll see how that goes. These all are based on our true predictions if you were to play every game and to make which we know there's always going to be Sims and Loft that gets in the way. But, we're looking at these saying, all right, yeah, you're going to play every single Madden game in season one. But like I said, 10-6. And I'm going to say if anyone else takes over that team, they might go 12-4, depending on how late in the season it is. But I'm going to give him a benefit of a doubt, and I'm going to say he's going to go 10-6. But switching gears, we're going to jump to the South with the AFC. Now, this is a surprising division. Honestly, when the ratings come out today, I was like, Well, you're saying the Titans are the best team in the AFC South. I watch the Titans week in and week out when the Cowboys aren't on TV. I just don't see it. I think they're overrated at sitting at 82 with an 85 offense, 85 defense. That's something I would never expected for the Titans in Madden 17. Bringing up next in the divisional ratings is the Texans, who is controlled by RFF at 81 overall with an 81 and an 85 on offense defense. Then you get to the Colts and the Jags, who are pretty similar, both with a 78 overall and 81 offenses, but the Jags have an 81 defense, whereas the Colts have a 79. I think them ratings are fair for the most of the part. I was expecting the Texans to really get a good boost looking at how many top 10 and top 5 players they had, but that 81 overall just goes to show there's some kind of formula that Equipment Guru is using. Because I don't know how you add 81 and 85 and come up with 81. That just don't make sense, but it is what it is. So my divisional predictions in the AFC South would be, bringing up the rear, we're going to go with Albert and the Colts. I just don't think the Colts team has what it takes to play against 3 and well-known users of the Madden 16 cycle. Maybe Albert's really, really good and he can make the Colts good, but I think they're going to finish 5-11. Coming in third place, I'm going to give it to Big K and the Titans. I know Big K is a great user, and I think he has what it takes, but playing against Arlen and RFF, plus the other games they have on their schedule, I just don't see him going past 6-10. Sitting at second in the division, I'm going to say Arlen, who's a great user, brings in the Jags. He's trying to get rid of Blake Bortles. I see it. I see him actually getting rid of him and getting a good quarterback running the scheme. Arlen last year with Tannehill threw 19 for 19 in season 1 against the Eagles, who I was using. That was just crazy. So I think he finishes 8-8. And the winner of the division, I think RFF strings together that great defense he's got put together with Lamar Miller and that Texans offense. And I think he goes 10-6. Raider, what are your thoughts on that?
Man, first of all, I'm going to say I really like the way the AFC South is stacked up. I think it's probably going to be the most exciting division to watch in the AFC, just because I feel like it's the only one that could, any team could leapfrog any team any moment. I don't know a lot about Albert and the Colts, so I've got him at the bottom. Nothing personal. I just don't really know, and that Colt squad just really isn't that good. I really have sort of a prediction for the South, but really and truly it could be any one of the 3 remaining teams. I'm going to say season 1, Big K is going to come out on top. I think what the Titans have there, 82 overall, 85 offense, 85 defense, I think they've got the right stuff. And they've got what Big K needs to work, and he can pound the rock, and he has 2 guys to do it, and he can keep doing it. And I'm going to say he, washes out on top, but at the same time, the Jags or the Texans, RFF, Arlen, either one of those guys could float to the top, take that division. I'm going to say the South is going to be one of those divisions that comes down to the wire. Think back to the old AFC Best back in Madden 15. You weren't around for that, but that was an exciting division to watch. I think all those guys, again, until I've seen the Colts, I can't really say, but I think Texans, Jags, Titans, I think every one of them are possibly 9 or 10 win teams, way up there, nudging each other out of the playoffs. But I'm going to say season 1, Big K is going to take that division with the Titans. Don't ask why. Maybe I'm crazy. Call it a hunch. Whatever you want to call it. That's what I got. We're going to move on to the AFC West. And in the AFC West, we have Automatic in control of the Broncos. We have Dan in control of the Chiefs. Stage Bus taking the Raiders, and Jay Vandal on the Chargers. Really, man, there's not a lot I can say here other than I'm incredibly surprised with a lot of these ratings. The defending Super Bowl champion Broncos squad gets an 82 overall. I understand losing lots of pieces. They lost Peyton Manning. Their offense definitely takes a hit. But to say that the Chiefs have a better defense than the Broncos just seems outrageous to me. But regardless of all that, I think the AFC West will be another fun division to watch. Dan, if he lives up to the billing everybody's giving him, he'll give Otto a run for his money. Sage Bus is a pretty solid user. He came on late in the Madden 16 cycle, and not a lot of people have seen him, but he's pretty good. I'm going to say Otto wins that division. Again, I'm going to lean back on he won a Super Bowl, and he's in a pretty competitive division. So, but I mean, he never shied away back when he was in the AFC Best back in Madden 15. I don't think he loses his touch here. I say Broncos and Chiefs are the top two teams, with the Raiders and the Chargers duking it out from there. What do you got in the West, Ibo?
Yeah, mine's pretty similar to that. I have the Broncos and Chiefs at the top, but it's a little different. But Chargers, I got them bringing up the rear at 7-9, followed by the Raiders at 8-8, and then the Chiefs are going to win it at 10-6, followed by the Broncos at 9-7. I feel like that is going to be another one of the competitive divisions we see this cycle, especially in the early seasons. You know, Dan's been touted by a few people that he's a pretty good Madden player himself. So I think with that good defense and pretty decent offense, he's got a good chance if he molds a few pieces together in season one. But, you know, I think the Raiders, I think Sagevis has a decent chance of pulling in an upset in that division too, having a 89 overall offense. You know, I don't see how the Raiders get that, but, you know, they are the Raiders, so we'll see how that goes. So we've heard everyone's, or well, both of ours, predictions for the divisions in Madden 17 for season one. We'll jump over to the playoffs now. So I've got sitting in the wild card rounds, I've got the Patriots and the Jags, and I've got the Chiefs and Broncos. And then I have the Steelers and Texans taking the 2 bye rounds, with the Texans and Broncos playing in the AFC Championship, sending the Texans to the Super Bowl. How's that fair to your predictions, Raider?
All right, well, I'm trying to remember. See, the 3 and 4 teams play, so 3 gets 6, 4 takes 5. So I've got my wild card round being the AFC West coming in as their 3 seed. So I got Automatic hosting the Steelers. And I don't know, do we want to predict who moves on, or are we just giving you what we think we got? Wild card. Okay, we're wild card.
There you go.
So I got the Broncos knocking off the Steelers in the wild card round and moving on. And then I got, man, that's tough. I'm going to say RFF avenges himself for losing the AFC South and takes out Big K and moves on to the next round. So I guess that brings us to was a divisional round?
Yes.
So that puts the 1 seed hosting the 5 seed Texans. And that's Keller and RFF. I got RFF moving on to the conference championship. And then we got Matt Rack hosting Automatic. I'm going to say you're going to get Houston versus Denver. I'm going to say Houston versus Denver is going to be your conference championship round, year 1. What do you got?
Yeah, that's who I ended up having also in the conference championships. The Texans beating the Jags in the divisional and Broncos over Steelers. And so I would have to say out of those 2 teams, I think we're pretty right on in our predictions. I think that will see how it plays out. But I think the Texans are going to roll over to the Super Bowl. What about your thought?
Man, that's tough, man. It really depends. I mean, both guys have won Super Bowls before, so I can't really lean on one to make my decision. RFF plays a defensive brand of football. Automatic used to play a pretty impressive offensive game of football, but he's no slouch on defense. But man, I guess I'm gonna give my edge to the 2-time Super Bowl winner in RFF, and I'm gonna say he brings it home Or he goes to the bowl. He's going to the bowl season 1, yeah. I'm going to say Houston makes it to the Super Bowl.
So both of us predicting Houston out of the AFC here. I think last Madden cycle I predicted all 6 teams in the playoffs in the NFC, and I predicted 4 out of the 6 in the AFC out of season 1. So we'll have to see how that turns out again. All this we can go back on and look at. I think we're both pretty spot on. All 4 of our divisions have different divisional winners. As far as the playoffs go, we're pretty spot on about the championship game and the sending to the Super Bowl. So I think that's going to be it on the AFC divisional predictions and the playoff predictions from the AFC. Now, everyone's favorite segment is going to be the Raider Rant, which I know Raiders got another good one in store for us this week. So, Raider, I'm going to let you do your thing and give it hell.
Well. Here we are again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Raider Rant Episode 5. The segment that brings you all here is about to begin, and I am absolutely pissed, as has become tradition. Here at the Raider Rant, I am not too proud to bitch about something stupid and petty. I'm here to bitch irreverently at any and everything that I deem worthy. So today, here's a dose of just how those small things can piss me off. EA released the full ratings to the masses 2 days ago, and boy was I excited. I mashed my iPhone screen as fast as my stubby hands could move to get a good look at the butt fuckery that this year's ratings have been so far, and much to my dismay, I could only see certain ratings. All of a sudden, like a great green plus sign-shaped savior, a button appeared as if to deliver me from the 5 visible ratings and promise me everlasting happiness and all the ratings I could hope for. Alas, this savior was nothing but a fraud, and I spent the next hour adding and subtracting different stats so I could get a good idea of a player's worth. Now, I know what you're thinking. I should be thankful. They delivered me a database with all the information I've wanted for so long. But if your database is so anti-user that I hate navigating it, I think maybe you should just dump your ratings into a damn Excel spreadsheet like we've always asked for and move along. This has been your friendly neighborhood Raider Red saying, Cowboys rule, Jets drool, and I'll see you all next week.
Bravo. Couldn't have said it any better. I think you spoke for the whole league there. I had to jump on the computer. Luckily, I was home when I saw the ratings were dropped. So I was blessed by having a computer, and it was still a pain in the ass. So I could only imagine the struggles of the phone users. And if you're still on like a Nokia cat phone where you can still play Snake, I really feel bad for you because you're probably not even looking at team ratings still. So, I think that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be bringing our NFC predictions, and we'll be 1 week closer to EA access. I know everyone's excited for it, and that just means Madden season's upon us. Thank you again, Raider Red, for coming on and sharing your words of wisdom. And until next week, this has been Hounds of Howl, and this is Fourth and Forever.